We're back again, easy as ABC with Mr. Conyer. We are looking at this trinomials in standard form. The leading coefficient is greater than 1. And we want to change this to vertex form. Well, I know A is 4, I know B is 8, and I know C is -5. That's all I need because this is easy as ABC. I'm going to use this completing the square formula to change this to vertex form. First thing we have to do is factor out A, and we know A is 4. We're going to factor out A from 4 and from 8. That's going to turn B into 2. Now I'm going to show you all the math. I'm just talking you through this first part. So we factor out A. We take half of B. Then we take C minus half of B squared times A. Now we have to multiply times A because it was stretched. It was stretched by a factor of 4. So there's our formula right here. A times x plus half of B squared, and then C minus half of B squared times A. So when we are done, when we are finished this process, it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to look like this, and we'll walk through the math. This is the completing the square. Now, as you can see what's going on here, we are changing to vertex form. So A was 4. We factored out the 4, factored out the 4 from 8 and made it 2. Half of 2 gave us 1. C is -5 minus the half of B, which is 1 squared, times the 4. It was stretched, and we end up with this is our vertex form. X plus 1 will give us the horizontal movement. The plus 1 means we're going 1 to the left. Minus 9 is 9 down. Now, let's show the math. Let's factor out A. Here is my whiteboard, and we are going to start with factoring out A. Of course, when we factor out A, we are going to have a 4. 4 is A. 4 is A. So when we factor it out, 4 divided by 4 leaves x squared. 8 divided by 4 leaves us with 2x. We're leaving C alone for right now. Leave that C alone right now. Now, I need half of B. So, we have 4, which is A. Now, I need half of B. Well, B right now, B is 2. So, I need half of B. So, when I take half of B, half of 2 is going to give me 1. Half of positive 2 is a positive 1. Now, we're almost done. Right now, what's going on? The information that I have, I've already gathered this information. I know A is 4, and that means that it's stretched. It is stretched by a factor of 4. We are stretched by a factor of 4. Now, I got this plus 1. How did I get the plus 1? Remember, we factored out 4 from 8, which is 2. Half of 2 is 1. And that means x plus 1 equals 0. X equals -1. We are going left. We're going left. 1 unit left. That's what that plus 1 is telling me. Right there. I'm going 1 unit left with my vertex. So I can already know if I'm doing the vertex, which I am, I'm trying to find my vertex, I know I'm at -1 for x. Now I deal with C. C was -5. That's not going to change. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to subtract half of B. Half of B, once again, was that 1 squared. But it was stretched by 4, so I must multiply that times 4, which is A. So we end up with -5. That turns to -1. times 4, which is -5 minus 4, which turns out to be -9. -9, which means we're going down 9 units. Down 9 units, which means my vertex is -1, -9, which means my vertex form looks like this. When I'm doing my vertex form, it's 4 stretched by a factor of 4, x plus 1. We're going 1 unit to the left, minus 9, which will be down 9 units. There's vertex form. 4 plus 1 minus 9. Now, if you don't believe me, maybe we should graph. They don't believe me. Some people don't believe me. Maybe we should graph this. So, let's make a graph. Remember, we're doing 4, x plus 1 minus 9. So I need to go 1 left, down 9. 1 left, down 9. Let me use red. I like 1 left, down 9. Okay, 1 left, down 9. There's my vertex. Wait, if we go back to the original right here, this is our y-intercept right there. The y-intercept has to be a -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Hold up. Let me put the axis of symmetry. Hey, wait a minute. This might verify everything we were talking about. This y-intercept verifies everything we're talking about. Now, the axis of symmetry right there, which means that this point is right here. Now, check this out. If I go 1 to the left and 1 to the right, I'm going 4. There's the stretch by 4. Look at that. It's stretched by 4. That's the factor where it's stretched by 4. That proves that my vertex form is correct. That is enough to prove my vertex form is correct. It really is. That's my vertex form right there. There's my parabola. That's 4x squared plus 8x minus 5, which has been converted to vertex form, which would be 4. X plus 1 squared minus 9. That would be vertex form right there.